Your
And there we
race
go.
descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Now let's try the conceptualization check.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Okay, Measurehead. I'm new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of different races are. What kind of different races are there?
Do you?
I do.
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Type A.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding.
Taking notes.
A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
I mean, look, dunking on the Dutch, I'm up for that. I'm joking, of course. I'm sure I can chime in when he talks about like the German and Austrian equivalents. Then I can really dunk on that. Wait, who exactly are the Maun?
You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners.
Okay.
My people simply call them Maun.
Gottwald and Königstein, I assume, are Germany and Austria, respectively. Like later, it's mentioned that there's a lot of like psychology stuff going on in Königstein, so I assume that's like a reference to Sigmund Freud or something like that. So that would make Königstein Austria and Gottwald Germany, but maybe it's a bit of a mix of both.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Okay, got it. Who are Type A then, in your view?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have Type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem.
He draws his fingers across his face.
Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum.
It's just, last time I didn't do this. Like, I just absolutely did not want to get into that. Because, like, I wouldn't hear him out on that, personally. I mean, I probably wouldn't have risked a physical confrontation with him in real life either, because I'm scrawny. But, you know, last time I took the chance and just knocked him out. So it's interesting to see the other side, this time with a physical character that isn't really all that smart. And who are the Seminese and Areopagites in this?
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagite are on the ascent.
And the Seminese are?
The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Seminese inhabit the southern islands. I am Seminese, from the stock of Ulenbuir on Ile de Fantôme.
And the Areopagites?
The Areopagites are the master race of the Ile Maran deserts. The Simonese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic migration from Ile Marat to Ansuland, thousands of years before the lactose-intolerant Marne-Reden Occidentals discovered this place.
What's the difference between the Seminese and the Areopagites? Continue receiving wisdom.
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls.
He falls silent, contemplating the beauty and the mystery.
The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite superrace. That is all. There are no more Type A races in the world.
Nature was not capable of more.
Now let's ask about Type B.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the Vacholiers, they are mud-colored people.
Mud-colored?
To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an distinct muddy color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, sweaty, and ashen.
Jesus.
Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking al ghul and smoking the degenerate tobacco herb and for eating potato.
I mean, you know, the historically, a lot of people have been, excluded from counting as white to other, white people, which, so kind of like historically, a lot of times racists have seen, whiteness as something that had to be earned. So that's some historical accuracy thrown in there. But like, oh my God, he's just talking, isn't he? He's got it thought through, but none of it makes sense in any way, shape, or form. Like, what's wrong with potatoes, man?
The Khoiko, the countless micronationalities or Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
And the Vacholiers you mentioned?
The Vacholians, halfway between Type A and the racial cauldron. Two mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
I'm pretty sure history hasn't lasted that long.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over, like a fever dream of skin, hair, and bone. Wake up, naive Chespias.
I've heard about this revolution. Mistakes were made, but it was the right stuff. You're wrong about it. This revolution was perpetrated by degenerate left-wing marauders, not all the people of Revachol. Go away, stupid political thoughts. What was this revolution? I mean, we're gonna have to click that.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia.
I mean, prion diseases are scary, but we're gonna learn more about Zarath later on. So, we'll learn more about it later. Let's not get into prion diseases right now, because quite frankly, they are really freaky and like, oof, That, you don't want something like that.
The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Khoico to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant. Enough of Tibet mediocrity.
He nods, satisfied with the outcome. The vile C to F race cauldron of pederasty, please.
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Chimeric experiments?
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Seminese man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Seminese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring.
I doubt that.
The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
Any more?
Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Simino Koiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
You know what? In for a penny, in for a pound.
The Khoico, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Seminese with the Khoico to produce a super worker of Seminese strength and great servility. This will never happen. The Seminese and the Khoico may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Seminese man could maintain an erection in the suffocating potato stench of a Khoico woman or Khoika.
Jesus. God, I think I made the absolutely right choice last time, just knocking this guy out. Man, we're gonna have to be friends with this guy.
But enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type F. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
Now that we've been through all the types, I do understand advanced race. Do I understand advanced race theory?
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Will you help me get that body down if I do?
We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way in, without becoming a race theoretician.
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concludes. I am worried.
We've given him plenty of reasons to be worried. And he's right to be worried. This time around, we're just gonna go down that route. How do I word the mystery?
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly.
Let's discuss something else.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
Let's leave. Do we have a point? We are very close to a skill point, so soon enough I'm sure we can get that done. Or get it internalized. I could theoretically pause the Ravasholian nationhood, but I do want to complete that as well. This one takes 1 hour and 40, that's fine. Temporary research bonus, -1 drama, fooled by the absurdity. Research time, 1 hour and 40 minutes. A mass of fantastic races swells in your head. desert pygmies playing with their own excrement, Koikos juggling potatoes, eczema-ridden mounds grinning and dancing on wooden clogs. Everyone is there, the whole race gang, plus some that you may have come up with yourself. The thieving subkits and the seal-eyed cast of fortunates hatching some kind of scheme. In the eye of this race Empyrean, a vertigo reaching up to the heavens, you sense something. Drawing nearer, nearer. Oh, God. We're gonna be the worst person in the world, aren't we? Like, that's rough to read. Like, I think in my other playthrough I ended up having 0 fascist points, so I was kind of diligent not to fall down that hole at all. I think we had some moralist points because I didn't want to scare some people, and a lot of communist points. I think maybe 1 or 2 ultra-liberal, but I'm not sure. But like, I think I stayed with like 0 fascist points because I just really, you know, I really don't like fascism. Like, you know, people shouldn't like fascism, so you know. So I was very diligent about not going down a path like that, like this, and now I just see how, you know, how intense the fascism route in this game can be. Let's see what this is. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. Okay. All right. What do we do next? It is getting late. Let's see what else is there to do. Let's go down here. This staircase is always a bit challenging to navigate. Let's take another look around. What can we do here? Let's see. We could talk to her, I think. This book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. This book is about pate. This book, we don't really understand what it's about, nor does it seem important. A book about a boyadero culture. It promotes freedom and roaming upstream. The book says you must attain a Franco-Nigerian hard body at the nearest gym. A book about the future. The government reads your minds using radio technology. I'm sure that's true. Let's talk to you then.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you, smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold. I am the law.
I know, sir.
She stomps her feet to feel warmer.
Yes, people get that you are the law. You really don't have to keep saying it.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of store is this anyways?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
That's a terrible name.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
Well, we did not understand any of that. What is a book?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
What's a postcard?
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
She is unfazed by your questions. She would consider it impolite to point out any perceived weirdness.
What's a board game?
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
I mean, makes sense. I guess there's probably not that much room on the ship, and cards are easy to deal out and just collect again. Interesting, thanks.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
The girl glazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide as if recalling something.
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here in the cold because?
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
You're cold. Can I help you in some way? We're an asshole here. We're not gonna do that. Sorry. I should have a word with the store owner, maybe. Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. The capitalist option. Since we're doing an evil run, I can get down with that. I could help by brutally dismantling the free market. I'm gonna go with number 3.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store.
She smiles and stands upright like a little soldier. Shouldn't you be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Isn't going to school more important than this? School is stupid. You're lucky not to be there. What is school anyways? I'm gonna go with number 2 here because it's wrong.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
How's the business going?
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Cursed? In what way? Good to hear that it's going well, but I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Cursed in what way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Ass up.
I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so.
I don't think curses are real. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. Narrow your eyes and look through the creaking boards on the window.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case. But I don't see much more to look into here.
The lieutenant makes a note in the notebook.
Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir.
What do you know about the other failed businesses?
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
How does this curse manifest itself?
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
But Kim, the plasmic manifestations.
No such thing.
The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and serious.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
Enough about this curse, for now.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
What is this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. Why would anyone want to read about crime? Okay, I get it. Crime, murder gets the people going. Now, what is crime? She doesn't know how to say it. It's that bad, point to your head.
Crime is a deviation from the law, punishable by either a civil or criminal sentencing. It's what the law prevents.
Why would anyone want to read about crime? Okay, I get it. Crime, murder gets the people going. I'll go with the second one.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman, by the way. The law, as I said.
You don't look much like a policeman.
She examines you as if to find something policeman-like. Huh. Well, what does a cop look like then? Okay, then maybe I'm not a policeman? Or should stop being one? What does a cop look like then?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy. Then I decided to live a little. You know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man. It's not your body that's important in police work. Anyway, it's your point to your head. Wow, look at that guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen. I actually had another question. I used to be exactly like him, then I lived a little.
What's that mean?
You know, cut loose, raise hell, blow off steam.
And everything's better now, sir?
No.
Why is that?
Look at me, a hideous beast, a failure of a cop, a disgrace. A man who can never be truly happy with who he is. You'll understand when you're older.
Oh, Okay, I shouldn't have said that thing about Dick Mullen.
You know, nobody actually looks like this guy in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man.
She looks at Dick Mullen, frowning. Dark, arrogant, violent, likely overcompensating for something.
Probably got a violent streak because he's emotionally stunted.
She examines the cover, trying to gauge the inner workings of the detective.
Emotional ineptitude is no way to cop. He can't compare. He can't compare to my sensitive soul. Like when we started yelling at the lady on the telephone that we are God.
Of course not, sir. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The cover image of Dick Mullen seems to stare at you with harsh disapproval. What is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in that situation.
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
I see.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things. Yeah, poor people are boring.
I guess, yes. People in books are always very interesting, especially the romance people.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah? You think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
She pauses, trying to figure out the appropriate answer. No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination. Only it's really long and drawn out, scarred for life, phantom limb.
No, I don't know.
She looks at you with puzzlement.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower.
Yeah, and it drags on for years and years with no resolution in sight.
The girl is at a loss for words.
Each of you filling with resentment and bitterness for having ruined each other's lives.
She shifts and sways on her feet, looking confused and uncomfortable.
Each of you tearing at the other's innards, leaving a gaping emptiness, a vacuum heart that still hurts ceaselessly.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you.
I don't need help. I need a real book that tells it how it is, not this drivel. Why can't you help me? I am beyond help, right? Both of those are good. Nice and self-destructive. Let's go with the first one.
Sir, sorry, sir. I'm still little. I can't...
I feel so bad for her, though. Oh my god. Sometimes it's painful playing, like, this kind of role.
It's time to leave it be. You're about to make a child cry. Are you proud of yourself?
Not a single shred of pride remains in me. Right, activate denial mode. Damn right I am. Proud as the Lion of Cerber. Don't worry, little girl. Got a bit carried away there. Let's back up out of this. Right, activate denial mode.
You're not really an automaton. You do know that.
Little girl, pardon the deviation. I wish to discuss books and other such matters.
Yes, sir.
She blinks her eyes rapidly in confusion and relief. Who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them.
She scratches her cold, reddened cheek, then continues.
I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
reading those doesn't make the reader more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. Fame is for vain people. I have better things to do. These famous people sound like a bunch of dorks. Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day.
Why would they do that, sir?
Because because I'll be a superstar cop in the papers and everything. That'll show him. Why indeed? I'm just an old tired cop. What use am I? Let's go with the superstar thing.
That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
Okay, let's try the composure thing. We got +3 from should be a book of you. So she's cold, afraid of the curse. Okay, let's go with it.
You fail to deduce anything substantial.
Rough.
She waits intently.
I'm a detective. I deduce that you are a girl. I'm a detective. I deduce that you are very small. Actually, I'm sorry. I can't deduce anything. I hope none of that deals morale damage. I'm a detective. I deduce that you are a girl.
Come on, anyone would notice that.
Okay, bye. See you around, Annette.
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do, yeah. What hard work do I do exactly? I guess I do.
Oh, yeah. Like a horse. A workhorse. For hard work.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
You could say I took some money from that Manana guy.
You didn't log that in as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider.
Oh, and then there's pawning stuff off to that suspicious Roy guy.
Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit and then pawn it off. Law officer style.
I guess I've made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
319 says no, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
It's because of that guard guy riding my ass. The system is broken. There's a market for corrupt cops out there, but the immigrant cops have price dumped it. Fucking taxes, man. I don't know. Why am I so poor? We have to go with 3 because it's the asshole thing to say.
Look, the immigrants are cool. The immigrants play cool music. Everyone likes them, especially the women. Don't hate on the immigrants. They've got nothing to do with you living under a boat.
It's because of that guard guy riding my ass?
The guard man has set himself up one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Don't play the victim. Think hustler. Think with your head.
Fucking taxes, man.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket. Stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Really? Every time I sneeze?
Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, Alimony. One tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here. Total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now. Are you sure? That seems like a pretty big number. This isn't helping me solve my money problem. It's only making me into a free market type. Are you sure that's a pretty big number?
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now.
Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth furiously on the tax issue.
Fitting, a lot of the free market types are actually fascists. Indirect modes of taxation. Temporary research bonus, -2 empathy, cold-blooded, research time 1 hour and 45 minutes. First, if you have a side bitch ideology, cooking somewhere, don't sweat it. Fighting indirect taxation for the Gotham estate is compatible with all creeds. It's cool like that. You're a cool anarchist now, unless you don't want to be an anarchist, whatever. Stuff this meal ticket in your eye socket and let's see if we can steal some love back from the robber barons at the customs agency and the banditos at the Insulindian Financial Oversight and Compensation Committee. Okay, first though, let's unlock this symmetrical. Let's keep it symmetrical. And let's start internalizing advanced race theory. There it is. That was just because we had a point unlocked. Okay, now that thought is cooking in our head. Sadly, you hate to see it, but it's the point of this playthrough. But sadly, with that, I'm gonna have to call it a day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.